Hello, beautiful people. Shane here. Just doing a quick video today. This is not a review. It's not long term at all. Just want to let you guys know I actually just acquired these two knives. If you've been around my channel any amount of time, you know by now that I am a man child and I love big 4-inch blades. The Yojumbo is actually one that has been on my radar for a long time, and I was fortunate enough. Mr. Cole over at Tri-State EDC loaned it to me for a review. Within just a few minutes of opening the box, I was begging him to sell it to me, and he did. So I've acquired myself a Yojumbo, so look forward to a review on that coming up soon, and possibly even some slight mods to this knife. We'll see. This Adamas was loaned to me by Mr. A to Z EDC. Guys, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he has an Instagram channel. Jeff is an awesome dude, man. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he is a super nice guy. He loaned me his Adamas, and I didn't fall in love with it immediately. The reason for that is because I kind of felt like I was cheating on my Contigo every time I carried it. However, they are two different knives. I thought in the beginning that they were kind of two knives that served the same purpose, and so I didn't understand why I would even want to own an Adamas. But after owning them and carrying them a while, I have changed my mind. The Contigo is a much slicier knife. However, if it comes to hard use, I don't believe it's going to hold up quite as well as the Adamas. And the Adamas is so much more comfortable, you're going to be able to get more hard work done anyway. So that's why I've added the Adamas to my collection. Another reason why I ended up purchasing it wasn't as much as me really wanting it. It was because it had a horrible factory edge on it. I will say this, guys, it was the most evenly ground factory edge I've ever experienced, ever, from any knife brand. It was just perfectly even from one end to the other. It was just really rough, and it just wasn't sharp. It wasn't sharp. It didn't want to cut paper. It was poorly done in one aspect and expertly done in another. And I also noticed after I had it a few days that a small rust spot popped up on the actual sharpened bevel. And I didn't know if it was like that when I got it. I felt horrible about it. I didn't want to sharpen it because it didn't belong to me. And I know A to Z EDC does often, sell and trade knives, so I didn't want to affect that, him being able to say it was a factory edge, but it was literally driving me crazy. I had stropped it. I kept it soaking wet with oil, and that little rust spot drove me nuts. To be honest, I bought it so that I could sharpen it. I was really shocked at how easy the Crewware was to sharpen. Because I don't feel like hard to sharpen is even a thing anymore. I don't believe it exists. I think it's just a lie. And when I say that, even if you take something as hard as like a K390, it's not hard to sharpen. It requires good diamond plates to sharpen, and it may require a few extra strokes and a little more time. If a little more time equates to hard to sharpen for you, then so be it. But it's not hard to sharpen. It's not any more laborious. These good steels and these good diamond plates, man, they put on such a nice clean edge, and the burr comes off so good when you're dealing with good steels. And let's face it, the only way you're going to know you're getting a good steel is to get it from an American manufacturer. I don't care what anybody says, fight me on it. The Chinese just cannot, will not, do not do a great heat treat. It's just the truth. Anyway, so guys, look forward to reviews coming up on these. I'm super excited carrying them. I want to remove the Adamas for a second because I've got a little story that I want to tell about this one. Won't take long. My grandson called me excited because it was Grandparents' Day at school. My grandson he's my buddy. He's 6 years old. He's a little Neanderthal, a little caveman. He's exactly what I dreamed of having when I thought about having a grandson. Anyway, so he called me and invited me, and I went. No sooner I get there, he asked me, he says, "Pawpaw, did you bring any money?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I got money. Why?" And he's like, "Because there's a book fair." How convenient that they scheduled a book fair while they're having the grandparents come by. But anyway, I took him to the book fair. He picks out a book. It's a dinosaur book, and it comes with this little electronic device that makes dinosaur sounds. The electronic device was wire tied to the packaging with a very unnecessarily heavy duty wire tie. And the lady at the cash register asked if, or said she would have to get some scissors to remove the wire tie. And my grandson Cam said, "Oh, don't worry about it. My pawpaw always has a knife." Absolutely melted. I just melted, guys. I nearly cried. I've never been more proud, but it gets better. I take my Yojumbo out, easily pop the wire tie off the packaging. And I've never had this conversation with Cam, but he says, "Pawpaw, is that a Spyderco?" And I was like, once again, nearly choking up. I was like, "Yeah, Cam, it is a Spyderco. How'd you know that?" And he said, "Oh, well, I just saw that hole in the blade." And like I said, I've never had that conversation with Cam. I'm sure he's heard me talk about it in front of his dad. And he's one of those kids that from across the room absorbs every word you say. By far my proudest pawpaw moment. I'll never forget it. And now that it's uploaded to YouTube, maybe one of these days he can watch it and remember back on it and know how proud he made me and how much I love him. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. Peace. Love y'all.